Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Living the Florida East Coast. My name is Andrew Pench, and in today's video, what we're going to do is we are actually going to go over where I would live in Vero Beach by price point. So if I was moving to Vero right now and I had to pick, if I had a certain budget, I'm going to go in $100,000 increments, where on those with those budgets would I move to? So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is if you're moving here with $100,000 or less, it's going to be really tricky. It's going to be tricky to find you something there within that budget. So used to be able to find something, but for right now, I recommend either renting for a little bit longer, saving up maybe to get a more down payment, talking to your lender for more options, what you can come up with there and what your options could be. Or I know if you did want to own something, if you wanted to own something for that, but for Vero Beach, you're really going to be limited to mobile home that you do not own the land that the mobile home sits on. So those mobile home prices to rent the land underneath are going to range from anywhere between, I would say, $400 a month all the way up to $600, $700, possibly even $800 a month that you're going to be paying to park your mobile home there today. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm walking up to the beach right now. It's just absolutely beautiful. Look, check this out. So yeah, guys, I mean, $100,000 or less isn't going to get you a house where you actually own the land here in Vero Beach, at least from what I saw at the time of this recording of what was active and available within any River County even. $100,000 or less, even if you're paying cash, isn't going to get you into anything. All right, so now the next segment I wanted to discuss is if you're coming here between $100,000 to $200,000. So with $100,000 to $200,000, your options do open up. Just know that you're going to be most likely in a condo. So these are the areas that I recommend if you're coming here just under $200,000 budget. So first one's going to be Vista Royale. Vista Royale is a 55 and older community, so something to note there. Also is in the same neighborhood as one of my favorite golf courses though. So I love playing at Vista Royale. I think it's called the American Golf Club is the official name for it if you're on, Tee Time or, booking a Tee Time online or Golf Now or something like that. But so this one has a HOA fee of about $551 a month. It has a clubhouse, community pool, fitness center, shuffleboard, tennis courts, and of course, like I said, close to, the beach and also close to the river there too. So it's just east of US 1 and it sits on that that golf course. So that golf course, the reason I love it is because it's more of a dive course. What I mean by that is, you can just rent a golf cart, play 9 holes for 15, 20 bucks. And, if you really want to play 18 holes, you can choose maybe like $25, $30. Also, it opens yourself up to some fixer-upper single-family homes. So that's in like the Vero South area and also the Gifford area there too. So you have your options if you wanted to maybe buy a rental, put some money in something and then fix it up. Just under $200,000 if you're buying in cash. Could open up those options for you. Alrighty, so now let's jump into a new segment here. This is between, if you're here buying cash for $200,000 to $300,000, this is where the options really start to open up. So you can get a condo with a canal view. So over by the Royal Park area, and then across from Royal Park, they have the Royal Palm Point. There's like a little area there where they have fountains that shoot up where kids can run around. There is a condo there where you can rent out, also if you plan on investing in it or just purchasing to where you can have something under $300,000 with that canal view. So something very interesting there. Also have a mix of smaller move-in ready homes, townhomes, condos, fixer-uppers, smaller 3-2s, a lot of 2-2s with, frame construction, that sort of stuff. So these are all things that are available when you start to move here with a little bit of a stronger budget of $300,000. And then also in regards to under $300,000 or below as well, you also open up the historic district in a lot of areas like that. So Philip, I just ran into you at the, at Chelsea's place. I appreciate you flagging me down and us having a great conversation. So it was very nice meeting you, Philip. And he actually just went under contract with my sister-in-law and then bought a house in the historic district of Vero Beach. So lots of renovations, things, but it does fall in that $300,000 or less category if you're able to purchase it cash, because a lot of these historic homes, they would prefer cash buyers over conventional getting a loan, because a lot of things can fall through the cracks when it comes to historic houses in regards to financing. So that's another thing as well. Also, the Vero Beach Highlands, you have some options there, which is down in South Vero. And then, so there's really another point I have here written down too, is that there's no turnkey pool homes. So there are some pool homes, but definitely going to be needing some renovations in that $300,000 or less price criteria. So that really covers it there for $200,000 to $300,000. Let's go ahead and go $300,000 to $400,000. All right, now for the fun part. This is from $300,000 to $400,000. This is where the map absolutely just starts to light up like crazy. So it's going to be impossible for me to just name every neighborhood that you can buy under $400,000. So I just wanted to give you some key points on that one too. The map lights up. We already went over that. Also, one of the key thing I wanted to say is that it's still not in the territory to where you can buy a turnkey pool home, at least from whatever I saw whenever I was searching in that price point just before recording this video, when taking down my notes. So that's the unfortunate thing. Guys, check out this little turtle we have going on here too. Little cool mural. The reason I'm walking around here on the island is because in this segment of the video, you can actually get onto the island for under $400,000. So that's something I definitely wanted to point out, is the fact that you can be here, just know you're going to be in a condo. And you might be paying some higher condo fees than you might want to. Also, insurance is going to be a little bit elevated as well. First of all, you can get a place with a community pool with under $400,000, and I'll go over some of the things here too. So these are neighborhoods with community pools. Those are going to be Bella Vista, which is right there by the mall, kind of near where, you know, I guess the mall isn't what it used to be, but there's still a church there. That's where Cannon goes to daycare, and you know, a few other little mom and pop stores and shops and restaurants in the food court, but not anywhere near what it used to be. Also, Point West, that's another one with a private golf course, community pools, fitness centers, clubhouses, that sort of thing, out in West Vero. Also, Vero Lago, so that's where my aunt used to live. You can find a smaller, maybe, you know, single a garage home there in Vero Lago. And then Harmony Reserve, which is a new construction 55 plus community. So there's villas there that can sell for under $400,000. I don't know about the single family homes. I know they're really creeping up. And as far as new construction goes, I think they are sold out. So you may have to either buy a resale, but what a lot of times people do is that they will say that they'll sign a home or buy a house, and then when that house is under construction, let's say plans change or something happens to where they can't move there, or maybe they just see the equity and they like where they're living at the time instead, and will put it up for sale. So lots of different options that you can have there, but Harmony Reserve 55 plus, great new construction community, split between Miranda Homes and Holiday Builders. Alrighty guys, and then another little category that we have here between $300,000 and $400,000 is just the nicer HOA neighborhoods really start to open up whenever you do that. One of them is going to be Woodfields. This is another 55 plus community that's a little bit older. So this one's an older Lennar build, built back in 2000s, the early 2000s, right before the crash. You know, the big construction boom that we had there. The HOA fees there are going to be $469 a month, but it is a gated community with, let's see, a clubhouse, a pool, and a fitness center. The next one is going to be Walker's Glen. So Walker's Glen is another community, not 55 and older. No amenities come with it, so it's very similar to where I live, where you're just paying an HOA fee just to be, you know, in a nicer, more well-kept community. HOA fees there are $184 a month, but they're typically frame construction with stucco on top. So guys, I like to stay away from those kind of builds personally, just because you never know what the stucco is going to be hiding as far as the damage goes underneath. So you don't know what your frame condition is going to be like underneath those homes, and they hide it with stucco. So that's why I like to stay away, but typically the repairs are pretty inexpensive to do something like that. So I just don't like to take the chance. Another one's going to be the Sanctuary. This is another one where HOA fees are in the 180s, so we're at $187 a month. This one includes, though, a pool, a clubhouse, tennis courts, and lawn care, and it's a GHO built neighborhood back in the early 2000s. So the Sanctuary, great little community. That's why I chose it for this list. Another one's going to be the, let's see here, Lakes at Sandridge. So Lakes at Sandridge, there is no amenities at Lakes at Sandridge. That is located in North West Vero. Also, the HOA fees are only $77 a month. It is a split neighborhood. So what I mean by split neighborhood, and this is kind of where I live too. Split neighborhood is really whenever they started building in the early 2000s, right before the crash, and then the builder never finished building in that neighborhood. So there's all sorts of vacant lots that were left over that were then picked up by another builder. So in this case, and it's actually D.R. Horton that is picking up the the old lots that were released and then now building in there currently. So that's kind of where I live. I live in Oaks of Vero, and we're in a 2017 house, but there's a lot of other places or homes surrounding my home in the same neighborhood that were built in 2004 to 2006. And then after, the big collapse, no one really built on those vacant lots until about 2017 when Adam's home picked it up. So half were built by D.R. Horton, the other half were built around 2006. And then now let's go into the next category, which is going to be the non-HOA neighborhoods that budget can get you. All right, so first one's going to be the fact that you can start getting yourself into new construction homes when moving in with that $300,000 to $400,000 budget, which is great. So you can get new construction, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, sometimes even, 2-bedroom, 2-bath that are a little bit larger. So homes there in Vero Lake Estates. You can also find larger homes and new construction homes in the Vero Beach Highlands. So Vero Lake Estates, where it is it's just kind of I'm not going to say a master plan community, but it's the largest community that Vero Beach has. And it's in Northwest Vero, kind of near Sebastian. So you're almost going to be shopping. Anywhere where you're going to be shopping is going to be typically in Sebastian. Whenever you're living, I know it's a Vero Beach address, and you have Vero Beach is going to be, in the name of where you're living, but that is going to be typically closer to Sebastian. Vero Highlands is going to be down in South Vero. That's where my cousin lives. That's where my sister-in-law lives. I wouldn't hesitate to move there. I love it in that area. Lots of potential in that area to grab a new construction home as well. I'm also a buddy of mine, Randall Jacobs. He builds there too, builds a very high quality house. And then, just give me a call. Let me know if you want to know if he still has any availability in there. Also, let's see here. You get some opportunity for fixer-uppers in the nicer areas of Vero as well. So like McCanch Park. I know whenever I was looking in here, McCanch Park had a couple houses that were available, which is awesome because that's that historic district that everyone in Vero Beach loves. And those houses can be almost touching $1 million too. If you get in the right one, you have the right renovation. So under $400,000, you're getting them to where you can have a little fixer-upper there. Also new construction in Paradise Park. So Paradise Park is where my grandmother lives, my dad's mom. So she has a little house in Paradise Park. That is off of 60, kind of close near 95. So if you're a commuter and you want to be, commuting down south or up north to Melbourne, if you have work there, you can easily do that while living in Paradise Park and Vero Lake Estates. Vero Lake Estates is also right there and has an exit to take on and off of 95. So that's a good thing for those two areas. Also as well, Rock Ridge. So if you like the historic, smaller homes, you don't need a big home, but you want to be close to the river, maybe even close to Three Corners project, which is going to be working on here soon. I think once the Three Corners project is done, that a lot of the, there's going to be some increasing in value in that Rock Ridge area because you're going to be walking and biking distance to what is really going to be the central hub of Vero Beach, hopefully. The only thing about Rock Ridge, though, it's a little bit prone to flooding. Other than that, I don't think it got into the houses. It just, flooded the driveway and got right up to the front door of a lot of those houses, too, for that last hurricane that we had for Hurricane Ian and then also Hurricane Nicole. Also now, too, it's time to talk about how you can get on the island and then which neighborhoods really open up if you wanted to live where I'm walking around right now. So you have, let's see here, you've got quite a few options. You've got the Ocean Club. Just know that when living on the island, yes, your buy-in price is going to be a little bit lower in these places, but the HOA fees and the reoccurring costs and the insurance is all going to be a little bit higher, so know that. Ocean Club is going to run you about $1,346 a month in their HOA fees. You also have Turtle Cove. So Turtle Cove, I hope we're going to have a Zillow link here. That one's only $150 a month in HOA fees, but when I was reading the listing description, I don't think that they had any kind of reserve set aside, and I know that building is going to be needing a lot of work. So just expect, you know, it's always going to be something, either a big assessment, bigger reoccurring HOA fees, just something to consider. It's been sitting on the market for a long time, and there's definitely a reason for that. Also, Royale Riviera, that one's about $562 a month, so not that bad. Crown House at $1,625 a month. And then also Robles Del Mar at $892 a month. So all those options there, I gave you 5. Those are all going to be able to get you onto the island for under $400,000. So definitely something to consider. You know, it's not completely out of the question if that's the budget that you're moving here. Just know that you're going to need those higher reoccurring costs and fees to cover the monthly costs, and also the increased taxes, and also increased insurance prices too. Alrighty, so now it's time for the last segment of this video, which is going to be $400,000 to $500,000 budget. So when moving to Vero Beach, so when looking in and having, you know, putting it on my MLS for $400,000 to $500,000, a majority of these are going to be HOA neighborhoods. It really lights up with HOA. If you remove the HOA contingency off the search, it really starts to hurt how many are there. So I think only 18 results were out of an HOA when I did between $400,000 to $500,000. So that really opens it up, and it made it hard for me to narrow this down to a smaller list. So the mainland HOA neighborhoods I wanted to discuss: Isles of Waterway Village. So this is a great little community built by Devasta and Pulte, and Isles of Waterway Village is before, you know, they bought Waterway Village a long time ago, but they stopped building and then they started building back up again here recently. And I think Isles at Waterway is one of their 2004 to 2006 neighborhoods. So that's one thing to consider. But you have a lot of these same amenities that you expect from Devasta and Pulte and Waterway Village. Also, you have Woodfield, and then on top of that you have Park Lane Estates. So that's a newer neighborhood, and you can get a 4-3 home that was built in about 2016. So newer construction-ish. We're going on, let's see, there 6-7 years now. So that is, you know, to me that's not too bad. I can live with that. Also Magnolia Court. So these are, I've moved a couple of my clients in, Ken and Darlene, hello. So Ken and Darlene, I know they had quite the punch list of things to fix as well. So that's something that, you know, you got to consider with those houses at Magnolia Court. They're more of the budget homes, or to get into Waterway Village, typically you're going to spend well over $500,000 to do so, but they do have that option for newer construction houses there in Magnolia Court. So 2019 homes, some with the impact windows and doors. Another one that opens up is the Laurels. So the Laurels that's where my grandmother just moved to. For those of you who don't know the backstory, she sold her house that was on the river. Had a boat lift, everything. We sold our boat because we kept it there. You know, she sold it, they were tearing it down. The neighbor next door, they tore that one down. They bought both lots and they're going to build a gigantic mansion on it. So she then took her money and moved over to the Laurels. So the Laurels is a great community, beautiful little place too, with a lot of lakes, and it's kind of like curves. You know, as you go in, the road curves. It's not just like the blocky and gritty, you know, type of streets there. There's a lot of character with it too. And it's just a beautifully laid out neighborhood. So that's another one that you have an option there for you too. I'm going to take a break underneath this little tent here too, because it is getting hot. We're getting into now May in Vero Beach. So now next thing I wanted to go over is the non-HOA, the top 5 picks that I have from the availability that we had with the non-HOA neighborhoods too. So more in McCanch Park start to open up. So when I was talking about the highly desirable historic area of Vero Beach, that's another one. Also one that I haven't mentioned yet that does open up is Royal Park. So you have your options to Royal Park, which surrounds the Vero Beach Country Club area. So very prestigious, nice area. Several houses in there worth plus $1 million. So that's going to be in our next segment. Vero Shores. So Vero Shores is it's an area where some of the neighborhoods or some of the houses have access to boat lifts. Now you are not going to get between $400,000 to $500,000 in access to a boat lift. So these are going to be the homes that do not have access. I'm going to say you get all the downsides of living near the river without any of the upsides. So closer to, you know, you're in the evacuation zones, you're getting more mosquitoes, you're getting more no-see-ums, yet you still don't have a boat lift on the back of your house. Definitely something I would consider or think about closely before doing that. Also, larger homes in the Vero Beach Highlands start to open up as well. So if If you need a 4-3 with a pool, you know, sometimes you might be able to find it between $400,000 to $500,000. But typically what we're seeing is just larger homes. If you need more square footage, that is going to be where you you know, where you end up, and then possibly, you know, 5-bedroom 6-bedroom houses there too, but not necessarily in the Highlands. Those are typically the 2-story ones that you'll find in some smaller HOA neighborhoods too. Also, Waldo's Way, another cool neighborhood there too, between the $400,000 and $500,000. Then now, next segment I wanted to talk about, if you wanted to be here, if you wanted to be on the island, between $400,000 to $500,000, what is that going to get you? I'm trying to give you some new ones here. This is Baha Mar. So you're buying in a little bit higher of a price point, lower HOA. This is going to be about $450 a month. The Vero Towers, that's going to be $567 a month. The Jasmine Villas, that's $583 a month. Riverwalk at $642 a month. And then this is the really cool one. I'm actually working with a client right now. Her name is Heidi. Hello Heidi, if you're watching this one. She's actually looking for a place, or was looking for a place in Sea Oaks. Now, we've been having some issues with the listing agents in Sea Oaks not being the nicest. Before I rant on too much about Sea Oaks, it is a beautiful, beautiful community. You've got your own private beach club. You've got, you know, your own private beach with restaurants and things. It is like the place to be in Vero Beach on the island if you don't want to live in Central Beach. The HOA fees are high though. You have a $30,000 capital contribution that you have to pay when you buy there. So it's not only what you pay for the condo, and then also you have about a $1,512 a month HOA fee there too. But with that, like I said, beach club, tennis club, fitness center, pool, everything is really included within that $1,500 a month, and it's just a beautiful place to call home. So wonderful little beach too. When you get out there in the beach club, kind of has like, it's more shallow, so it extends shallow for quite a bit, so you can walk a long distance. But with what comes with that is the fact that you have like this Bahamas feel, where you have like the light blue water that extends out, kind of looks like you're in the islands, the Bahamas, which is really, really cool. Also, Wabasso Beach has that too. Just great little area. But guys, that really wraps it up for today's video for what you can buy in Vero Beach from price points. So we're going to go into part 2 next week. Don't miss that. So part 2 is going to be when we go to 5 to 600,000, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, all the way up to $1 million, and what that can get you and what my top picks are for there. So we didn't have a lot of things to choose from in the lower categories, so this is going to be a quicker video. Next one, we're going to be diving into a lot more. So should be a longer video. Can't wait for you guys to watch it, and I'll see y'all next week. Thank you.